Of course, we continue to see that this edition of 2026, 57th edition of the Cairo book fair is continuing successfully to attract huge sizes, and also with its activities and new edition of books and signing ceremonies that people hold who publish new novels or books, is really doing an amazing job to create a great activity, cultural activity inside Egypt that is also affecting or reflecting how the cultural progress is developing in Egypt. Of course, and right now it's another topic that's related to the same thing that we're talking about, and as we're speaking about the International Book Fair and speaking about the people who are flocking to this book fair, and also are being written, and there was some phenomena that was taken this year in this edition, 57th edition, that many Egyptians, not necessarily novelists or writers or intellectuals, but usual professions who decided to write books, and they have signing ceremonies, and they are very keen on progressing with their cultural side. We have with us here, you were joined by Mr. Ahmed Hossam Yaqout. He is an engineer, but at the same time he's a writer and author. Good morning, Mr.
Good morning.
Ahmed. Exactly, I needed to start off with you by talking about the International.
Yeah.
What distinguished this edition of 2026 from the other ones, especially that lots of people are talking about it, they are applauding a lot, they are in great admiration for this edition. From your own point of view, what exactly distinguished it in the sense of culturally and also in the sense of organization?
Yeah, well, what's really different about this edition of Cairo's Book Fair for me personally is the selection of Naguib Mahfouz as the character of the event. Naguib Mahfouz is one of the most important writers in the Egyptian novelist scene. And it's very important for readers and for young people to get introduced to his writings. So selecting him as the character of this year is very important. Yeah.
So what role does the book fair play in promoting culture and building societal awareness, and also especially the age bracket? There is no age bracket for this book fair this year.
Yeah.
You have so many age ranges. It starts from probably 5 years old and until 80 years old.
Yeah.
And every and each one of those visitors, they find what they're looking for. It's a very strange thing. But lots of people have reflected the same opinion and the same observation. So exactly what does that reflect?
The book fair is like a cultural event, so it acts like a space where people come to enjoy reading and to enjoy the events that are related to reading, to explore new books and to explore new topics to read about. So it became like something social within the society, that people go to this place to discover new things, to gather together, to talk about readings. So that's the whole purpose of having a book fair, and Cairo's International Book Fair is one of the biggest and the most important in the overall area.
Right. Let us talk about the paperback books, which was a great surprise. We have got lots of remarks about the boom of paperbacks inside this edition of the Cairo International Book Fair. The coming back strongly of or the repeat of the paperback books that were being exhibited, and how really eager to buy books once again. This reflects lots of values at the same time.
Yeah.
But those printed books, do they still compete with the age of social media and the digitalization, which everything might come to the tip of your finger?
Yeah, definitely. What I've witnessed personally about the paper boom is that I've noticed like an increase in the publishing houses, and many new publishing houses are seeking to find new talented authors to publish for them. So they're given a platform for new people to discover the scene and to discover new ways to write stories, for example, or to get their voice out there for the people. So that would lead us to having more books, and if we are to compare books to digital platforms, I think many people still prefer to have a book in their hand to read rather than to read from a PDF or to buy a book online.
We have something here that is very much related to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Egypt's Minister of Culture, Dr. Ahmed Henno, announced the launch of a library for every home initiative. And of course that coincides with the opening of this edition of the Cairo International Book Fair, the 57th one. And the Ministry of Culture stated that this initiative offers 1,000 book titles, 50 cultural bundles sold at heavily reduced symbolic prices as part of the governmental efforts to promote reading and expand public access to cultural nationwide.
Egypt's Minister of Culture, Ahmed Henno, announced the launch of a library for home initiative, coinciding with the opening of the 57th edition of the Cairo International Book Fair to the public. The Ministry of Culture stated that the initiative offers 1,000 book titles grouped into 50 cultural bundles, sold at heavily reduced symbolic prices as part of government efforts to promote reading and expand public access to culture nationwide. Henno said the initiative is designed to ensure books reach Egyptian households across all governorates from the first day of the fair, drawing on the ministry's extensive publishing catalogue and existing stock of valuable titles that had not previously reached readers for various reasons. Under the scheme, visitors can purchase a cultural bundle containing 20 books for no more than 100 Egyptian pounds at the General Organizations, the GEBO, billion. According to the statement, the titles have been curated into 4 main bundles to cater to different age groups and interests. These include an adults bundle featuring major reference works as well as heritage and intellectual publications, a youth bundle aligned with the interests of younger generations, a children's bundle aimed at encouraging reading and developing imagination, and a periodicals bundle comprising 10 issues of magazines published by the GEBO. The ministry added that marking the selection of Nobel laureate Naguib Mahfouz as the personality of this year's fair, a special Mahfouz-themed bundle is also being offered. The 57th edition is held under the theme, "Whoever stops reading for an hour falls behind for centuries," a quotation attributed to Mahfouz. A library for every home initiative forms part of the Ministry of Culture's broader strategy to expand their readership base and reinforce the role of books in building public awareness, leveraging the Cairo International Book Fair status as one of the region's largest and most inclusive cultural events.
Welcome back once again, and of course we're having live with us here our prominent guest, engineer and writer Ahmed Hossam Yaqout. Welcome back, Mr. Ahmed. Let's talk about the book that you're publishing. Of course, you decided to write a book, and you're an engineer, but at the same time you're very fond of literature. So what exactly, how did this idea spark into your mind, and have you read books for several writers or novelists probably, and that might have urged you to write your own book?
Yes, definitely. Writing started with me early on in my academic years through studying my bachelor's years. I got really inspired by studying Islamic architecture. Before studying Islamic architecture, I knew about the buildings, I knew about the streets, but through the study, I got to explore the stories, the narratives that shaped architecture somehow. So I thought back then that there are some stories that deserve to be told and deserve to be presented to the people in narrative format. And back then, when I was in university, I started to write short stories about architecture, where architecture plays a dominant part in it. For example, I wrote my first short story called Qaid Bay, about a stealing event, a robbing event for the gates and the minarets of the complex of Qaid Bay. And then things developed and I started to write novels. The first novel that I wrote is called Waves of Ashes, and it's the novel that's published this year with a friend of mine. I try to explore new themes. I try to new perspectives about people, about architecture. How do they all interact together? How does architecture shape the society? Because architecture plays a great part in that.
Right.
Yeah.
You were influenced by, of course, let me, before I ask my question, note that the theme for this year was about the character of the great novelist Naguib Mahfouz.
Yeah.
And that probably might have influenced every Egyptian.
Yeah.
Whether they are thinking of writing or no. But how much were you influenced by someone like Naguib Mahfouz, and if your story is of the same type of literature and art like his, exactly talk to us about it.
Yeah, I write in a different genre than Naguib Mahfouz. I write in sci-fi and dystopia and thrillers and stuff like that. But what was really special about Naguib Mahfouz is his ability to express his own society and to create characters based on his own experiences and the things witnessed in Gamaleya, in the neighborhood that he has lived. I try to do a similar thing in my writings, which is to express my own society. I'm very fond of Cairo and its long history, so I always try to interpret that into my writing. So, for example, my first published novel, Sons of the Sun, Abna Shams, I imagined the futuristic history of futuristic timeline for Cairo in 2070, and then related it back to other older timelines like Muhammad Ali's era and then Akhenaton's era. That's what I'm always trying to do. I'm trying to find new ways to tell the story of Cairo, because it has a very long and rich history and a complex one that's always worthy of exploration from different angles.
Right, that's really great to hear, because we need much of that for the future.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to explore new horizons of genres. At this point, of course, I would like to thank you, engineer, writer, and author, Mr. Ahmed Hossam Yaqout. Thank you so much. Good luck to you with your endeavors. And by this, we come to the end of this edition of The Breakfast Show. Many thanks to all of you. Till we see you again tomorrow morning. That's the goodbye.